From restaurants to historic sites to the natural beauty to activities, Connecticut is starting to attract more and more tourists to check out how great our state is. And just this month, another new tourist attraction was unveiled. All right, and now the Chief Marketing Officer for the state of Connecticut. He is Anthony. Anthony, great to see you back here in the program.
Likewise, my friend. How you been?
It's great to see you, man. I've been well. I've been seeing you've been putting signs up across the street about pizza capital and foodie capital. How did this all come about?
I got a phone call randomly one day from Commissioner Eucalito at DOT, and he said, "Hey guys, we have the chance to update the highway signs. What do you want to do?" And so the idea was birthed out of that, and I think now we've got not only a piece to be proud of, but we've also got something that's become like a token of excitement for Connecticut. I have people coming up to me saying, "Hey, where can I buy a magnet or a T-shirt with those signs on it?"
Yeah,
it's like food for thought. Something to come in the months ahead.
Yeah, we need to sell more of that stuff. We need to get it out there. In fact, I was at the state capitol recently. There's a gift shop in the LOB that I think needs some help. You know, some of the stuff could be sold there, because I think people would buy it.
Oh, I fully agree.
So let's talk about, you've introduced a couple of trails recently. Let's talk about the movie trail first.
The Connecticut Christmas movie trail that came out in December this past year. Yeah,
there are places to go.
All kinds of places to go. My goodness, there's over 100. Featuring 22 different movies filmed in Connecticut around Christmas time. Excuse me, not around Christmas time, but about Christmas. Yeah. And there's just hundreds of things to do, see, places to eat. And oddly enough, it has generated so much chatter, not only online, but I don't know if you saw this. Jimmy Fallon did a skit on it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It was great. So I think what we tapped into there was something authentic, something that people really enjoy, whether it's the holidays themselves or their fervent love of these Christmas movies, you know, Hallmark or BET or Netflix. Like, there's a lot of good there. So we want to continue going forward with these types of things. You know, Gilmore Girls is coming up on the 25th anniversary this year.
It's hard to believe, 25 years. Yeah, my old house on Capitol Avenue in Hartford is in a couple of movies. So stop by and take a picture. It's amazing, and that whole block. But movie makers have told me that one reason they like Connecticut is because of its diversity in architecture and pictures. You can have city, you can have country, you can have beach, you can have mountains, you can have everything you want.
So much, and quite honestly, Dennis, that is the value proposition of Connecticut as a whole, whether you want to call it home or you want to visit on a vacation.
Let's talk a little bit about the pizza trail. So that's also new, and it's not just New Haven pizza, right? There are pizza places all over the state.
So what we are doing, we are going to launch public voting for the Pizza Capital Trail on National Pie Day. That starts March 14th, coming up. pizzacapitaltrail.com. So anybody can go on there, vote on their top 10 favorite pizzerias across the state. And what we're going to do is we are going to take all those votes, so the top 100 pizzerias plus the top choices from a panel of 10 food critics, and we're going to put out that trail for everybody to know and see and love and visit. So whether it's a Beats, you know, New Haven style pizza, Sicilian, Greek, you know, Napolitano, we want everybody to know that we've got the best pizza in the country.
Is there a place outside of New Haven in Connecticut that has like Greek pizza that's like known for that, or?
You said Greek pizza or great pizza, or both?
Well, you said Greek, so I'll follow you. I'll follow up on that.
Village Pizza in Weathersfield.
Oh yeah, we've been there. That's amazing.
Great pizza, and you've got a couple up in Torrington that are fantastic. I've heard Sasso's. It's not Greek, but they do have great pizza.
How much money do these tourists bring to our state, and do people actually? I mean, I know some friends who if they come here for business, I need to go to New Haven Pizza, I need to hit Sally's or whatever it may be. But do people travel long distances for this?
We've seen it. I actually talked to your colleague Mike Cerulli over the summer about food tourism, and we saw a line outside of Pepe's and Sally's, and every single person who was there was from out of state. They said, "Oh, we're passing through Connecticut. We stopped to get a pie on the way up to Vermont." It's like, that's great, you're stopping. Like, that is our goal. And so this does bring in an average. This is a national average, so we'll get some updated numbers. About $85 in spending a day per person. That's not a bad thing just on things like food and drink. That doesn't account for rooms over their head and gas and other things that brings in tax revenue to the state.
I have to bring up one complaint that I do hear from business travelers, particularly, you know, Hartford's home to many corporations. A lot of them have complained that there aren't enough hotel rooms anymore. That they come here, they have to stay up by the airport if they have to stay 20 miles away in their business meetings and their their conference is going to be in Hartford. So is there any plan at all to build more hotel rooms in Hartford?
So I think the market is one of those key drivers on this. Unfortunately, with what's happening through the state legislature, obviously, as you guys have been probably talking about, it's a little bit of a tighter budget, so that's not something we're going to be able to invest in the short term. But in the long term, public-private partnerships are a great way to get that going. I mean, I will say from a positive side, Dennis, our occupancy rates increased over the last year. Not only do we exceed New England's average, but we exceeded the national average. So it's something, yet again, to crow about in Connecticut. There's all kinds of good news and cases for optimism.
So you need, like, private investors to come in and say, listen, I will do this, I will build this Hyatt or whatever we don't have in Hartford. So,
well, I would actually even argue it's not just building from the ground up. Taking older buildings and transforming them potentially into rooms or housing. So there's a program that the governor is proposing in this budget called Grayfields, and that will take a good chunk of money to take old buildings, especially in places like Hartford, and transform them into housing and other projects.
Good enough. All right, Anthony, always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you, Dennis.
Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
With the tourism industry. Next, wrestling comes to one town on the shoreline for the very first time, and it's grappling with success.